Hi, my name is Rachel Armstrong, and this is my presentation on designing a lesson plan and how to justify the components based on theories or concepts. Lesson planning is something you can actually make easy, but a lot of times as teachers we make it hard on ourselves. Here we want to create effective lesson plans, and this is the key for effective teaching and a critical factor in achieving the positive student outcomes we want to see in our students. Here we're going to discuss the overview, introduction to the material, the guided practice, independent practice, and the closing. An effective lesson is lesson planning, delivery techniques, and classroom management ideas for teachers. Good lesson planning is an essential technique to the process of teaching and learning. Teachers who prepare and hit on all of these processes will be well on their way to a successful introduction experience. There are 5 basic teaching strategies. First is your introduction. You're going to have an objective. You model your expectations for your students in your classroom. You want to actively engage in the students. You want to be mobile. And you want to be complement positive behavior and hard work. When you have an objective, your lesson just isn't important for you to know why, but it's also important for your students in your class to know why you're teaching the lesson and what they need to know and how they're going to learn it. When we as teachers plan the lesson, we need to know how our students, how they learn, what do we want them to take away from the lesson. And once we figure that out, then we can start writing our plan. We always want to model our expectations. When we begin the lesson or before we begin the lesson, it's vital for us to let our students know the expectations we have for them for each lesson. If we're giving a math experiment, we want the first thing to do for a student to show them how to properly solve a problem in the different ways and different paths they can take for that math problem or for that type of section that we have. This is going to help our students understand what we expect from them and what we want from them and what's going to happen if we don't get the results we need. And then we want to actively engage our students. Children learn by doing and not just by lecture or hearing or seeing. We want our students to be engaged in the lesson and have them work on hands-on activities, group activities, and we want to use cooperative learning techniques as well. You can also use technology, smart boards, whiteboards, iPads to help make the lesson more engaging. We also want to keep their minds going and their hands moving, and this is going to help us reach our lesson objective. It'll keep them busy, it'll keep them focused. And we want to be mobile. When students are busy applying the skills that we've given them, we want to walk around the classroom so we can see what they're working on, see if they're doing it right, see if they're using the techniques we've given them correctly. And that way, if they have any questions, we can be there to answer them or show them how to do it in the correct way that we like. And then complement positive behavior and hard work. To me, this is one of the most important things you can do to students. When you see a student paying attention, doing what they're supposed to be doing, working hard, meeting their goals, you want to make sure and compliment them. Tell them they're doing a good job, and they're working hard. You appreciate their hard work. You want students to see you doing this, and they're going to understand that you're pleased with what they're doing, and it'll also help them strive to meet the outcomes that we want. The component, excuse me. And the second is guided practice. After new material has been introduced, students will need time to practice their new skills and knowledge. Practice is one of the most important yet least appreciated aspects of learning in the classroom. Teachers can also become so intent on introducing new material, explaining different concepts, or demonstrating the skill that we don't allow the correct time for students to explore new material and to begin to internalize it. Teachers often can leave out students to work independently right after introducing new material, and this can not be beneficial to students because right after without taking the proper time to support students while they practice, it could be a negative impact on them. If we don't allow time for students to practice, both with guided and independent practice, they may not have the opportunity to assess the degree to which students understand the new skill or concept. Independent practice. The independent practice phase occurs when students refine their skills without teacher assistance, and they can be the time when students demonstrate their own understanding of the objective through completing a formative assessment. Independent practice can also involve problem solving, answering questions, demonstrating a skill or skills, and completing a performance task about how to plan an effective lesson. And the closing. This is where we want to touch on too. This is the last component of an effective lesson plan. This is the stage where the lesson will reinforce the lesson objective and will provide opportunities to check for your students' understanding of the topic. Many new teachers do not fully understand the value of lesson closing. This helps you to keep the teacher informed of the student's progress toward your academic goal that you have set for each of them. A lot of times, most of us as teachers have not witnessed many effective lesson closings. Many times teachers fail to reserve enough time to effectively close a lesson. It can be easy to feel rushed, that you're going to run out of time, the bell's going to ring and you're not going to hit on everything that you need to hit on. But it is very crucial that you set time aside for the closure. You can set timers, or you can have students remind you as a teacher in the classroom that the time is running out and you need to transition into the closing. An effective lesson closing, it doesn't take that much time, but it is very important. You can usually close a lesson plan in 5 to 10 minutes, and then at the minimum, what you can do is reemphasize and what the lesson's on. It can clarify the objective and what the students have learned. You can reemphasize the significance of the objective, and you can also assess the student's mastery of the progress toward the objective if they haven't done so before. But it is very important to make sure you touch on the closing and hit on it at every lesson plan to make sure you're getting everything you need to across and your students fully understand the lesson. The recipe for effective lesson planning, you want to ensure successful learning and teaching. Teachers must use a number of skills from their considerable learning armory, planning and challenging, demonstrating, explaining, discussing, reviewing. They're just a few that you can do. And you want to always ask yourself if you could do all of that without planning for it. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you learned a little bit, and I would love any feedback you can give me.